Hello! Now that you know the basics of creating a custom field, let's consider a special custom field that allows you to connect records on one object to records on another object in the database structure, Lookup Fields. As always, when creating any field, we always ask 3 questions in a specific order: why, what, and how. Since lookup fields allow us to connect records to each other within the database, the why tends to be related to that. Yes, we need some custom field, but do we need it to capture data or to access existing data on other records? If it is a lookup we need, it could be either. For example, we may need the field because we want to capture new data, such as a lookup from one contact record to another for a parental guardian field if our business is a talent agency serving children. Or we may need to later be able to create formula fields that pull data from one record onto another, reducing the amount of data entry and the number of data entry errors. In either case, we will decide that what we need is a lookup field. So then it just becomes a question of how. Just like with any other type of field on standard objects, we start the same way. We go to Setup, Build, Customize, then select the object we want the field on. Let's fulfill that first scenario, creating a parental guardian field on the contact object. Then select Fields so we can create a new field. We'll scroll down so that we can first confirm in the Custom Fields section that we don't already have the field we're about to create. Sometimes it just isn't in the page layout. We see that it hasn't been created yet, so we click to create a new field. Since what we want is to connect this object to another object within the database structure, we select Lookup, then hit Next. Yes, you can connect an object to itself using a lookup, and that's exactly what we need to do. Both the parent and the child are stored as contact records, so we'll start on Contact and create a lookup over to Contact as well. Select Contact from the Related To pick list and hit Next again. Then we'll give our field a name, Parental Guardian. Notice how I'm clicking around to get the system to create the field name for me off the label. Again, I'll skip the description and help text, but in some situations you may want to enter either or both of these. If you have a number of sysadmins working in one org, it's good to use descriptions. Or if you're forgetful and you think you won't remember what you created the field for yourself a few months from now. And if you create a field that isn't obvious to users needing to complete it, then help text can give them the guidance they need to correctly complete the field. The thing we want to focus on in the creation of this lookup field is the next value, Child Relationship Name. A key thing to understand about lookup fields is that whenever you create a lookup on one object, you're going to get a related list on the object at the other end of the lookup. So if we put a lookup on Contact pointing at, say, a custom object called Auditions, we're also going to wind up with a related list on Auditions that lists all contacts who are at that audition. In this case, we'll wind up with both a lookup field and a related list on the contact object, though any given record will of course have one or the other. The child's contact record will have the lookup to the parental guardian's contact record, and the parent's contact record will have a related list showing all their children. With that in mind, we need to think of 2 names for this relationship, one for the database and one for human eyes when they're looking at these records and trying to figure out what's going on. Sometimes you can use the same name in both places, but that doesn't always give you the best result. Keep the system name brief, but make the related list name whatever you need to so that users understand what they're looking at. So let's call the relationship parent-child, no spaces. Note that this relationship name has to be unique in the database. We'll let all contact records be accessible with this field, so we'll ignore lookup filters and just hit Next. On the Field Security page, we'll just take the defaults and click Next to continue. Then we'll add the field to all contact page layouts in the default location, so just hit Next again. Now we see a page we haven't seen when creating new fields before. Most new fields are done with the addition to the page layout. On that screen, you see a Save button instead of a Next button. But for lookups, we still have to name the related list that's going to appear on the target record. Previously, we decided to name the relationship parent-child, but that's not a very good name for a related list. Though the system is trying to give us the same lousy default it was suggesting before, we'll once again choose a name of our own. Let's see. It will show all the children of this parent in the list. So how about we name it Children? And we'll allow the related list to be added to all the page layouts. And hit Save. Now let's take a look at our new field in action. We'll start on Jane Gray's contact record. Now, pretending Ashley James is her parent or guardian, we'll enter Ashley in our parental guardian field. Now let's take a look at Ashley's contact record. Yep, there's our related list. And as expected, there is Jane in the list as one of Ashley's children. Now it's your turn. In your practice org, fulfill the following business need. In our sample company, sales reps would like workflow automation to be able to send an email to a primary contact on a sales opportunity whenever the deal is verbally confirmed but awaiting signatures for more than a week. Unfortunately, there is no way to set up workflow to allow an email to a contact based on criteria on opportunity unless the contact is somehow linked to the opportunity. Create the lookup field you need on the opportunity record so that this business need can be fulfilled. Be sure to edit at least one opportunity record to add a value for the field, then confirm the related list works as intended as well. In the next lesson, we'll be looking at a different type of special field you could create, roll-up summaries. See you next time!